Oh, Jesus Christ. Give me a second. Clear to go. Right. They call it the Miracle Mile. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Tuesday Night Super Late Model Racing here on the All Pro Broadcast Network. I'm Dustin Caldwell, and with me on cameras is Michael D'Amico. We thank you for joining us here on this Tuesday night. Got a little bit behind here on the qualifying, but as of right now, we're seeing some action down on the grid. Go through your polls a little bit later, here. Taking the pole this evening will be Zach Leonardi in the number 24 car. Second position goes to Devin O'Connell in the 43. Third position goes to Fred Morrell in the 14 car. Fourth position goes to James Babb, the 44 car. The number 1 of Jimmy Mullis will be rounding out your top 5. Matt Clifton in that Mopar number 20 car will be 6th position. Brandon Short, car 51, in 7th. Matthew Quick, car 89, will take 8th. Greg Webb in the number 3 car will take 9th position. Mark Arthur in that 21 car will round out your top 10. Going into your following 11 to 20 positions, we have John Schilling in the 22 car, Colby Vance in the 23 car, Wade Tashada in the 15 car, Jeff T. Martin in the 8 car, Mike Rhino in the 19 car, Mark McFadden in the 48 car, Skylar Allen Sr. in the 96 car, Karsten Cole in the 31 car, and Ray Zerkut in the 18 car, and it looks like Ernest Smith Jr. will be rounding out the top 20. So we are now green, folks. Zach Leonardi taking them green, and we have a caution out already. Let's go back and take a look. It looks like the number 8 car of Jeff T. Martin got into some contact. As we take a look here at the replay, looks like the number 3 car and the number 8 had a little bit of mishap with a 19, and it looks like the car 34 of Ernest Smith Jr. is going to get involved as well. But a little bit of contact here, so already lap 1, and we have a caution here. Now, if you've paid attention in the last few weeks, you'll notice that we typically race some smaller tracks, so cautions are pretty frequent out in these smaller tracks, but I believe here we're racing tonight is a mile track, so hopefully we won't have too many cautions as we would at a third mile or a half mile track. But temperature tonight, taking a look here at the thermometer. Looks like we got some overcast with 65 degrees, so it's going to put the track temperature at about 70. So, variable on the grip for these cars. These cars are, again, super late models, pushing 600 horses. And while we're caution here, go through our sponsors for this evening. Michelangelo's Painting, you can find them on the web. Dan's Top Notch Heating and Cooling, find them on the web at danstopnotch.com. And also John Hedrick, The Paint Shop, you can find him on Facebook. Check out John Hedrick, The Paint Shop on Facebook. Again, we want to thank you for joining us here on this Tuesday night for super late model action. We should be going to green here in a few. Take a look at the pace car here as he comes around. Looking for those lights to come off before we go back to green. Zach Leonardi will be leading us to green. And Zach Leonardi is in the top 5 of this league, so he's definitely a guy you want to keep an eye on. He's been doing excellent in some of these short tracks. Some few pivotal cautions have definitely given him some of the boosts he needs for these points to keep his lead in there, but don't rule out guys like Matt Clifton. He seems to find a way in the top 5. Looking down here at the list, Mike Rhino, excellent job last week by this guy, so he's currently sitting 19th, but I wouldn't rule him out. Excuse me, car 19, he's sitting 15th. I apologize on that. So they're coming down the back stretch here. They go around the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series sign. We'll see here once they cross the start-finish line if we're going to be going back to green. Typically, you won't see many caution laps as you would a short track on these larger tracks, so I think we get about 3 or 4 caution laps on a short track and only about 2 to 3 at most. So as they come across the start-finish line, let's look down here at the pace car. The lights come off, so we will be going green next time we cross, and Zach Leonardi will be bringing them back up. So as they head into turn 1, that Rockstar car 24 looking good as always. Devin O'Connell right there going to be challenge him in that beautiful 43 Dodge. Fred Moreau not too far behind him. Then you got Jimmy Mullis in the one of my personal favorite Monster Energy car. Matt Clifton rounds out your top 5 in that Mopar. Look at the back end of that number 20, the Dodge Charger. Brandon Short in the Jags.com car. This is in 6th. Matthew Quick in 7th. And if you look at the back of that, you'll see that angry cat eye. Nice paint job on there. So as they come around here, folks, we should be seeing the pace car go in, and Zach Leonardi will take them green. And pace car should pull it in. Here we go, Zach Leonardi taking him green, and Devin O'Connell ready on the jump. And here they go, they're going back to green. Zach Leonardi jumps out ahead. Looks like he's going to have a safe, secure lead coming into turn 1. Devin O'Connell in, and the inside, we got the 14 car of Fred Moreau. He's getting a little bump action there with Devin O'Connell. Zach Leonardi is pulling away. He's out to about a 3, going on a 4-car lead, heading into turn 3. Got some bumping and rubbing going down here. We are 4 wide between back there of that, I believe it was a 34 car, Ernest Smith. And as they come around again, looks like that 14 car is going to make his move on the inside of the Monster Energy car. You get a little bit of rub action there between them. But Jimmy Mullis has now moved into the 4th position. Matt Clifton is trying to battle his way up through there. Keep your eye on him tonight. Zach Leonardi, though, out to a safe, secure lead over Devin O'Connell right now. And as we see, it looks like the high groove is working tonight. So as these guys go in here, you can see back there the Jake's car going 2 wide. The man to watch right now, Zach Leonardi. I believe he's leading this league in points. Didn't get the official results here before broadcast, so I apologize on that. Right now, you're looking back here in your 2nd position. We got a good battle here between the 14 car of Fred Moreau and the 43 car of Devin O'Connell. Fred Moreau is on his back door, going to try to take him in here on the side of this turn, and it looks like he's going to do it. Well, we got another caution. We have another caution here, folks. 9 laps into it, and it looks like the Jake's car. We take a look here at the replay. Looks like the number 8 car of Jeff T. Martin is going to cause this caution as it coming into turn 1. But the amazing thing here is the 15 car? No, not the 15 car. The 51 car of Brandon Short going up into the wall. Looks like he caught a little bit of fence action there. I'm going to replay it here. That car not necessarily causing the caution. The 8 car there of Jeff T. Martin caused it, but looking at that replay, I don't know if Brandon Short got loose coming into that turn, but man, did his car go up over the wall and caught a little bit of fence action. Hope he's going to be okay. Wow. That car not smoking after that is amazing, folks. I just am amazed. Whoever put that car together, you give them kudos, because man, that car saw some airtime on that wall. But here, as we cross over the start-finish line of lap 10, Zach Leonardi is your race leader at the moment, followed by Fred Moreau, Devin O'Connell, Jimmy Mullis, and Matt Clifton rounding out your top 5. Extending down into your top 10, we got Mark Arthur, Hurston Dijon Tomaso, John Schilling, and Wade Tashada, and the 89 car of Matthew Quick will round out your top 10. As we mentioned last week, folks, when we go to shorter tracks, you're going to see that we're numbers from 20 to 15. This prevents cautions, but that ain't going to be the case here tonight because we are on a mile track here at New Hampshire Speedway. So Zach Leonardi out there challenging that pace car, telling him he doesn't like that 45-mile-an-hour speed he's setting out there. Or excuse me, it's 55 mile an hour. Pit speed is 45. Get that a little bit mixed up there. So as they cross the start-finish line, we're going to see here if the pace car shuts off the lights. That'll signify one more lap to green, and Zach Leonardi will be taking it back green. Looking down at the pace car, the light will stay on, so we have about a couple more laps before we go back to green here at New Hampshire Speedway. Run down our sponsors here for you while we're waiting. Michelangelo's Painting, Dan's Top Notch Heating and Cooling. Find them on the web at danstopnotch.com. And also check out on Facebook, John Hedrick, the paint shop. Guy has a paint shop on there, and he also can be found on Trading Paints. He makes some paints for these cars that you might see out here on the track. So that's John Hedrick, the paint shop. Look him up on Facebook. Well, thank you again for joining us here tonight on this Tuesday night Super Late Model Series here for the All Pro Broadcast Network. I'm Dustin Caldwell, and on cameras is Michael D'Amico. Looking as the pace car comes around that NASCAR Sprint Cup Series sign, I believe he's going to shut the lights off and we're going to go back to green. So if you're just joining us, one more time I'll read down the results here. Right now we have Zach Leonardi leading the race, followed by Fred Moreau, Devin O'Connell, Jimmy Mullis, and Matt Clifton will round out your top five. Mark Arthur, Karsten Dijon-Tomaso, Mike Rhino, Jeff T. Martin, and Wade Tashada rounds out your top 10. So the lights do come off the pace car, and we will be going back to green as they come out of turn 4. So Zach Leonardi, definitely always a good player to watch out for, and there's a reason why he's in the top 5 of this league. Guy always seems to find his way up into the top 5, if not claiming the victory week after week. If I'm not mistaken, I think I have talked to Zach before, and I think he does like these bigger tracks over the shorter tracks, so definitely paying off here tonight with him and his crew. They are currently leading this race, so pivotal point watching him go back to green, because he's the guy that's known to have some good restarts. So they're making their way around turn 3. We'll see the pace car head in here into the pits. And Zach will be bringing us back to green. Pace car going in. And there it goes. Zach Leonardi and Fred Moreau will be up there in the front 2 slot. So keep an eye on them. And there they go. Back to green. Zach Leonardi with a great restart. It looks like the 43 car of Devin O'Connell's right there. But Fred Moreau's going to shut him out coming into turn 1. And oh, look at that! Fred Moreau with the middle pass going 3 wide out of turn 2 is able to claim it on the backstretch. So now Zach Leonardi falls to second position. The 43 car of Devin O'Connell remains in third. But watch out, Matt Clifton's there. Matt Clifton's challenging him. We get a little bit of rub action coming out of turn 4. That Monster Energy car of Jimmy Mullis. Following Jimmy Mullis is Mark Arthur, the 21 car. Beautiful paint job of the Ricky Bobby Cougar Me car. Check that movie out, so it's great. So right now, Fred Moreau with a beautiful move into turn 2 earlier to take the lead. He's pulling out to a few car lengths ahead of Zach Leonardi, Devin O'Connell, but Matt Clifton right now is seeing some battles there with Mark Arthur. That 21 car. Keep an eye on them, and Jimmy Mullis and Mark Arthur's a little bit of action. Mark Arthur was our race winner last week. Was able to come away with the win. So he's definitely going to be a guy you want to watch for tonight. We take a look here, coming into turn 3, Fred Moreau's got a comfortable lead out ahead of Zach Leonardi. Taking a look back here behind Jimmy Mullis and Wade Tashada. Always a great guy to watch every week. He can put on a show from time to time. And it's Karsten Dijon-Tomaso is in that Ricky Bobby car. That's a 25-cent word. And it looks like he's going to make a move now. Here he comes into the turn. Taking the low groove over Wade Tashada. They get a little bit of bump action going on. He's able to overtake him now to move up into that 7th slot. And wow, look at Fred Moreau. He has got a wonderful lead now over Zach Leonardi. That 43 car of Devin O'Connell is going to challenge Zach here. You got a nice battle for that 5th position. Matt Clifton's trying to hold off 4th, but Mark Arthur and Jimmy Mullis have been battling it out. We are coming up on lap 19 here at New Hampshire Speedway. 2 cautions tonight, so definitely some good clean racing you find here on these little bit bigger tracks. Now Devin O'Connell challenged Zach Leonardi for that 2nd position. Zach Leonardi, he's going to hit the wall a little bit, and that's going to give Devin O'Connell some room to definitely try to make the move for 2nd position. So as Fred Moreau pulls away from the pack, we're going to take a look here at these two, 43 car and that 24 car. Oh, Matt Clifton spinning out, coming around that straightaway there. And he's going to draw the caution. Looks like he got a little bit loose. No contact from the other drivers, so it's going to be a clean caution. Matt Clifton did hit the wall on that, so doesn't look like he's going to have a lot of damage to that Mopar car. That will bring out the pace car, and we will caution it up here for a few laps. So, heading into this caution, your race leader, Fred Moreau, that 14 car, followed by Zach Lenardi, Devin O'Connell, Jimmy Mullis, and Mark Arthur rounding out your top 5. Carson Dijon Tomaso will move into 6th, followed by Wade Tashada, John Schilling, Matthew Quick. Jeff T. Martin will round out your top 10. Matt Clifton with that spin out is going to move down to 10th position, but we'll see the 43 car of Devin O'Connell is going to pit, and Zach Leonardi as well is going to pit. So 21 laps in the book here at New Hampshire Speedway. We are doing a total of 75 tonight in this 1 mile track, so 75 miles it is. And your second and third position here are pitting, so that's could change the results a little bit. But right now we have Fred Moreau in your first position, Jimmy Mullis, and Wade Tashada is your top 3. Matt Clifton did pit on that, so he's going to come out of the pits. Looks like he's just may have got some fuel in 2 tires from spinning. See Mark Arthur, the 21 car, is coming out of the pits now. The quick pit stops for these guys, possibly looking to get some fuel. Again, we are on a 1 mile track, so a little bit different than our typical short tracks. These guys will have to come in for fuel. Probably a good thing to do it earlier and get it out of the way and not have to worry about it later on in the race. So taking a look here, we got, I believe, one more lap of caution, and then pace lights will come off. We'll go back to green, and Fred Moreau will be taking us into the green. And while we're pacing here, as they make the sprint of the Camping World sign there on the back, we'll come around here and once again give a shout out to our sponsors, Michelangelo's Painting, Dan's Top Notch Heating and Cooling. You can find them on the web at danstopnotch.com. And John Hedrick, the paint shop. Check him out on Facebook, folks. Guy's a great painter. He's got a great painting business. John Hedrick, the paint shop on Facebook. I want to thank you again for joining us here tonight. Tuesday night Super Late Model Series here at New Hampshire Speedway. Always a pleasure. I'm Dustin Caldwell, and on camera is Michael D'Amico. Thanks for joining us here on the All Pro Broadcast Network. 65 degrees here is temperature with some overcast. Definitely plays a factor into that 70-degree track temperature. So as they cross the start-finish line, we're going to see the pace light come off, and yep, we will be going green as we come out of turn 4, folks. So your race leader, Fred Moreau, and Wade Tashada is now up in second. So we got a different top 5 here than we did come into caution. Fred Moreau will be taking us to green. Wade Tashada, Matthew Quick, Carson Dijon Tomaso, and Matt Clifton able to regain a 5th position there on a pivotal pit. So he'll be a guy to watch to shoot right for the lead coming out of the green. So they're heading down that back stretch there, just passing the chase to the NASCAR Sprint Cup sign. Beautiful campers out there. Definitely looks comfortable to be camping in. And as they pass by those motorhomes, drivers definitely kept comfortable in the cool air. And as they come out of turn 3, heading into turn 4, we'll see the pace car drop back into the pits, and we'll be going green. Fred Moreau, your race leader, heading us back into green. There goes the pace car, and we'll be set to go green. And there they go. The green flag comes out, and Fred Moreau already making a move on Wade Tashada. Gets out comfortably, and as we head into turn 1, we go 3 wide with Matt Clifton, Carson Dijon Tomaso, and Matthew Quick making it 3 wide, and Wade Tashada. No, we got a little bit of bump action there. Will it bring out a caution? Yes, it does. All right, coming out of turn 2. Let's take a look at that replay. Looks like a little bit of action with Zach Lenardi and Mark Arthur. We'll have to take a look at this replay booth here. Let's back up the cars and see what happened coming out of this turn. And as we take a look at the replay, it looks like Clifton was trying to correct going 3 wide coming out of turn 2. Zach Lenardi goes up into the wall. Then he's going to spin out Mark Arthur. So that's going to cause it. And then the Monster Energy car of Jimmy Mullis is going to be affected there. The 36 car. Man, that's a big pile up right there. About 6-7 cars involved in that. Maybe 8. The 48 car there of Mark McFadden got spun out. Man, tough luck for these guys. Brandon Short going to be involved. So we'll see who pits out of this. We see Wade Tashada now entering the pits. Going to get a little bit of correction on that. And so far right now we have about 14 cars on the lead lap. Mark McFadden has gone a lap down. Skylar Allen Sr. has gone a lap down. We'll see if they end up with the lucky dog. But Greg Webb and James Babb are 23 and 24 lap downs respectively. So the race results as they show right now, folks. Coming into this caution, Fred Moreau, your race leader, followed by Matthew Quick, Carson Dijon Tomaso, Devin O'Connell, and John Schillinger will round out your top 5. Wade Tashada, Matt Clifton, Mike Rhino, Jeff T. Martin, and it looks like Mark Arthur will round out your top 10. The 4 remaining cars on the lead lap is going to be Ernest Smith Jr., Jimmy Mullis, Zach Lenardi, Brandon Short will be your lead lap cars. Taking a look down there, that 96 car, 99 car, yeah, that's a wicked paint job on that. See Brandon Short coming around. Another guy who has an interesting paint job on his car is Mark Arthur. Man, that looks like we're seeing Jimmy Mullis go into the pits. Possibly he's taking a shortcut there on the track. He's under the yellow line, so yep, he's rejoining. As they make her way down the back stretch, Fred Moreau with a beautiful move earlier. If you're just joining us, Fred Moreau out of turn 2 made the bold move to take the center groove and was able to pull ahead of Zach Lenardi, Mark Arthur, to take that first position. So it's a heck of a job taking that. That's a heck of a paint job there on that easy, looks to be Web Solution car. As they cross the start-finish line, the crowd cheers as the pace car now turns off his lights. We will be going back to green. And man, Matthew Quick in that paint job never ceasing to amaze me with all those beautiful colors and just that, I don't know, it's that angry cat on the back of that car. Almost intimidating to anybody riding him. Maybe it's a comic relief to get his competition a little loose as they're coming out of the corner, just laughing at the look of that cat. But it's an interesting paint job. So we'll see how these two battle it out heading back into green. Another comical car here that I mentioned tonight is Carson Dijon Tomaso running that Ricky Bobby 26 car. He definitely wants to go fast, and folks, he is in the 3rd position, so he's definitely doing it here tonight. But watch Devin O'Connell there. He's on the outside there of that 2nd row. He's going to give him a run for his money. We'll see how they go as they come into turn 3, heading into turn 4. Pace car will be going off. Watching them come around now, coming out of turn 4. There goes the pace car, and we're going to go green with Fred Moreau and Matthew Quick in your first row. Carson's already challenging them, but there they go. Fred Moreau with a nice move. And oh, look at Zach Lenardi coming out of the back, moving up. He gained about 4 positions there, going wide across that start finish, but Matt Clifton, once again, folks. I don't know, man. I tell you, folks, look, we'll see it. Man, some of them cars involved on it. Looks like the 22 of John Schilling is going to be involved in this. As we run the camera back and take a look at what happened. John Schilling is going to come around. You see Matt Clifton bump into him, and there goes him at John Schilling in the 8 car of Jeff T. Martin into the wall. So Matt Clifton has got to talk to his crew chief here tonight and let him know that that car is loose. We've seen him a couple times spin out now, just definitely not his night. We'll see what kind of damage has been done to that 22 car of John Schilling. the result of the overcorrection from Matt Clifton sending him into the wall. But and now look at the number 8 car of that Bass Pro Shops of Jeff T. Martin, possibly blown engine. We've seen some smoke come out of it. Tough break for him there. He's just rolling now. So he's in the pits. Looks like he's making his way there. That car, I swear I heard the engine blow on the back, and the way there's 8 cars rolling, looks like he blew the engine. So fortunately, hopefully, we'll see him back in the race tonight. But heading into this caution, Fred Moreau and now Carson DiGiantomaso moves into the second position. Matthew Quick, Devin O'Connell, and Zach Leonardi rounds out your top 5. And folks, that last move, if you get a chance to take a look at that, and if we have a replay for it, I'd love to show it. Zach Leonardi just making this commanding move to jump all these positions. So I'm not sure we have a replay available for that, but beautiful move, and he's definitely going to be a guy to watch to contend here as we are now approaching lap 32 of this 75-lap race here in New Hampshire Speedway. Again, while we're cautioning, we'll take a quick shout-out to our sponsors, Michelangelo's Painting, Dan's Top Notch Heating and Cooling. Find him on the web at danstopnotch.com. John Hendrick, the Paint Shop. Find him on Facebook at John Hendrick, the Paint Shop. I've been told he had some great trading paints as well. You can always find him there. So we're going to make it another 2 laps here before we go to green. Make this lap, and I believe after this lap, the pace car's light will be coming off, and Fred Moreau will be taking us back green. That Ricky Bobby car down there of DiGiantomaso, man, he wants to go fast, and he's definitely made his way up. He was in the lower half of the position setting tonight coming into this race, so it'd be great to see him making his way. Keep an eye on that 24 Rockstar car of Zach Leonardi, though. He's going to do what he can to push for that lead position. And also behind him is another great guy, Mike Rhino, 19 car. Been showing some impressive races here lately from him. We ask you folks, you get a chance Tuesday nights at qualifying or practice comes up at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Qualifying is at 9:50 and the race begins at 10 o'clock, and we will take on the larger tracks the top 20 and on the shorter tracks the top 15 here at All Pro. As they cross the start-finish line, we see the lights come off the pace car, and Fred Moreau and Carson DiGiantomaso will be in that first group, followed by Matthew Quick and Devin O'Connell on the outside of that 43 car will be in the second group. Zach Leonardi take the inside, followed by Mike Rhino on the outside of that third group. These guys will be a good restart, so we got some action-packed restart action coming at you. As they pass the New Hampshire sign on the back stretch, getting ready to head in turn 3. Got some excellent spectators there on the hill. I don't know how much they paid for those tickets, or if they just happened to hop the fence to get some good action. But definitely would love to be back there versus the grandstands if I was able to get out of this booth and get down there. Coming into turn 4, pace car will be pulling off. And Fred Moreau, Carson DiGiantomaso heading into green. We'll see if Fred Moreau can have another excellent restart. Here they go, and we're green. And Carson DiGiantomaso giving a move, but Devin O'Connell has now made a move up there. And Fred Moreau gets a good pull away coming out of turn 2. And looks like the car of Matthew Quick is going to fall back. Tremendous positions. May have gotten loose there in turn 2. But right now we got Fred Moreau, followed by Carson DiGiantomaso, and Zach Leonardi on the move. He's challenging for that 4th position, the 19 car. And another caution comes out here on lap 35 at New Hampshire Speedway. I'll have to take a look at it and see exactly. And as they came out of the turn here, looks like see a little bit of bump action between Mark Arthur and Wade Tashada. Got loose. And then there goes Matt Clifton getting spun out there by, I believe that was Matthew Quick spinning out Matt Clifton in the 34 car Ernest Smith Jr., man, called that the ultimate accident of the night. That poor guy, driver's side door, going to hit the pit wall. Whew, I hope he's okay after that. Man, he is pulling away. Just an excellent credit to the safety of these vehicles. Because that definitely did not have to feel good, or did not feel good at all, I'm sure. So we're back live now, taking a look up front here. Heading into this caution, it looks like Devin O'Connell now is Fred Moreau's going to pit, so Devin O'Connell is going to take the first position at the present time, followed by Carson DeJohn-Tomaso. Fred will be in third, Mike Rhino in fourth, Zach Lenardi in fifth, Mark Arthur in sixth, Jimmy Mullis in seventh, Matthew Quick in eighth, Wade Tashada, Brandon Short, Mark McFadden, Ernest Smith Jr. to 11th. Matt Clifton is now a lap down on, he's 13th position, and following are now off the lead lap. Jeff T. Martin has gone 5 down. John Schilling is 6 down. Skylar Allen Sr. is 11 down. Greg Webb is now 33, and James Babb 34 respectively. We are 36 laps into the 75-lap race, so we're just past the halfway point here. And already we've had a few cautions. But Devin O'Connell right now is your current race leader. And it looks like Fred Moreau is going to fall back to the 6th slot. That moves Mike Rhino up into the 3rd position. Zach Lenardi in a commanding 4th position. Keep your eye on him. He's been making some great moves through the field tonight. Devin O'Connell been working for that lead position, and I'm sure he's pretty happy to be in the front of those restarts. Excuse me there. Apologize. I just got me a nice drink of root beer here. Root beer stand downstairs is pretty good. Told me I had to try a root beer float, so I did. Hey, if you're listening in the stands, definitely make your way down there to that root beer stand, because excellent job there. It must be homemade. Ice cream, they said, is homemade. We see the pace car now coming around start-finish line. We should be seeing the light come off, and we'll be heading back to green in 1 lap. There it goes. Devin O'Connell and Carson DeJohn-Tomaso in that front group going to be taking us back green. And just so you know, folks, a little tidbit of information about Carson DeJohn-Tomaso. Doesn't appear he had a qualifying time, so he possibly started last. Taking a look down through here. I'm not seeing a time register for him for some reason. So, not sure. But he was the 21st in the qualifying. Was able to make it in the race, and I'm sure he's pretty happy now to be sitting in the 2nd slot. So getting ready to pass that NASCAR Sprint Cup Series sign there on turn 3. Look at some of them beautiful Sylvania Lennox sponsors there. We'll see the pace car be pulling off, and we'll be going back to green. Devin O'Connell will be taking us to green as the pace car now pulls off into the pits. Here's the green flag wave, and there they go. The 19 car already said he wants to make his move up, and you see Zach Lenardi, the 24 Rockstar car, come down to that low groove, which may be good. Carson DeJohn-Tomaso taking a higher groove and was able to hold off the 3rd and 4th positions. Watch the 14 car, Fred Moreau heading back towards the lead. Devin O'Connell is leading here on lap 39. We're heading into 40 laps in the books. Already we got 2 wide between Zach Lenardi and Mike Rhino. Battling for the 3rd position, and Fred Moreau wants to get it back. Pitting after that last caution. He's going to have to do what he can to get back up there. Taking that low groove, he's going to get ahead of Mike Rhino. He's now side by side with Carson DeJohn-Tomaso, but the man on the move is Zach Lenardi, chasing down Devin O'Connell for that lead. And we got another caution yet coming out here on lap 40 of the 75-lap race. Looks like the car 34 of Ernest Smith Jr. and Mark Arthur is going to have a little bit of bump action. It's enough to draw the caution. Looks like they got a little bit, as we take a look more on this replay. You're going to see Mark Arthur come down come down on the 34 car of Ernest Smith Jr. and draw a little bit of smoke out of there, so that will bring out the caution. Not much of a change other than Zach Lenardi moving into that second position. He was a man on the move, already making his way towards Devin O'Connell. Right now, as the race stands, Devin O'Connell is your leader of that 43 car. Zach Lenardi in second, Fred Moreau in third, Mike Rhino in fourth, and Karsten Dijon Tomaso, who started second, coming out of that last restart, will move down into the fifth position. Wade Tashada in sixth. And as I get an update here, it looks like Matthew Quick now is going to be in the fifth spot, and Karsten is going to move to the sixth position. Mike Rhino's in the seventh position. Ernest Smith Jr., Mark Arthur, Brandon Short, Mark McFadden, Jimmy Mullis. Take that back. Mark McFadden will round out your lead lap cars here. So started with 18 and we're down to 11 on the lead lap here heading into lap 42. And it looks like Zach Lenardi is going to come down into the maybe a little track play there. Zach Lenardi coming down and cutting around on that corner. While we're cautioning, it's always great to shout out to our sponsors here on the All Pro Broadcast Network. Michelangelo's Painting, we want to thank you for sponsoring. Dan's Top Notch Heating and Cooling, find them on the web at danstopnotch.com. And also look on Facebook for John Hedrick, the Paint Shop. Definitely some great stuff that guy's doing there. I know he puts up some trading paints mentioned earlier in the program. John Hedrick, the Paint Shop, find him on Facebook. My name is Dustin Caldwell, and on cameras is Michael D'Amico. We thank you for joining us here on this lovely Tuesday night for All Pro Racing Super Late Model Series here on the All Pro Broadcast Network. We are 43 laps in the book here at New Hampshire Speedway. What we'll see happen here in these next 32 laps will be amazing. Watch for Zach Lenardi to take out the number one slot here. Guy's been moving all around that field tonight. He's been up in the top 5, moving back in the top 10 and back into the top 5. So Wade Tashada, though, that's another guy you want to watch. That guy can really move across the track. He likes some of these bigger tracks. Talking with him. Taking a look here as they come across the start-finish line. Lights come off the pace car, and Devin O'Connell will be bringing us back to green. Lenardi will take the outside in that first group, and he's been doing well in the low grooves, but we'll see if he's got what it takes in that high groove. Fred Moreau will take the inside. Wade Tashada on the outside. We'll have to see how Wade Tashada responds to that outside groove. I think he's been doing pretty well, doing that Smith & Wesson car proud. Matthew Quick and that Angry Cat. Mike Reno was definitely staring it down. Here they go into the turn 3. Devin O'Connell, and you can see Zach Lenardi's ready in that Rockstar car. He maybe had a little bit when he got in that last pit stop. They must have tossed him a can because he's ready to go with it. There goes the pit car, pace car into the pits, excuse me. Devin O'Connell leading them back to green. And there they go. They get a good restart. O'Connell shoots out ahead of Lenardi. And here comes the 14 car of Fred Moreau. And we get a good clean into turn 1. Wade Tashada taking the outside groove over the 14 car. But Devin O'Connell battling. Wade Tashada off the wall there coming out of turn 2. And Devin O'Connell's got a battle with Lenardi behind him next, but Wade Tashada loving that high groove around them corners. Gave up now the position to Fred Moreau in third. Karsten Dijon Tomaso right on the bumper of Wade Tashada. Matthew Quick and Mike Reno not too far. And Mike Reno trying to make the move there on that Bobby car. A little bit loose there. Oh, he got a little loose. O'Connell got loose. And Lenardi's going to capitalize on it, move into that first position, but don't wait him out. And a bump! I don't think O'Connell was happy with that move there. Gave Lenardi a little bit of a bump, but he's miraculously able to recover the car. And these two are definitely battling here in the final remaining 30 laps of this race. That 14 car of Fred Moreau now getting battled by Wade Tashada. Definitely see the high and the low grooves are working out here tonight. And as they come into the turn 3, we'll see what they can do. Too wide. And a little bit slow move on Devin O'Connell, but he's holding off Lenardi. There looks like they're pulling away. The 14 car now ahead of Wade Tashada, but it will be made up a little bit here on the turn. And the 19 car of Mike Rhino going to try to take the low groove around Tashada. We see a little bit of wall action there coming out of turn 2. Fred Moreau waiting patiently for something to happen between the 24 and the 43. These guys, little bit of bump action, and there goes Lenardi. A little bit of bump action there coming out of turn 4. Turn 3 into turn 4. And that will draw the caution. We take a look at that replay, you're going to see Zach, it may have just been Zach was trying to get his groove coming into turn 4. Came down a little bit over the 43 car and spun himself out. No harm, no foul to that 43, but Zach does get that rear wedge into the wall. We'll see what happens with that. If he's able to, will he have to pit or take a look here? He's now at the back of the pack. Excuse me, he's ahead of Mark McFadden. Just seen him having to pull up there. Wondering here if Zach will pit. Aggressive battle between those two, O'Connell and Lenardi. Lenardi definitely showing he wants to do what it takes. And Mark Arthur is now going to make his way into pit. So Lenardi and Arthur will pit here in 49 laps. So about 25 laps to go. But Zach has been all over this field tonight. He's moved up the pack, and we see Wade Tashada is also there in the pits. Current standings as they show is Devin O'Connell in first, that 43 car, followed by Fred Moreau, Mike Rhino, Matthew Quick, Ernest Smith Jr., Carson Dijon Tomaso, Brandon Short, Wade Tashada, Mark Arthur, Zach Leonardi, Mark McFadden, and Jimmy Mullis. Jimmy Mullis is now 13 down, excuse me. Mark McFadden, so 11 cars still remaining on the lead lap as we head into this caution. It appears to be the track temperature, 70 degrees, is proven to be a little bit slick for these cars. We've seen guys like Matt Clifton get loose out there a couple times tonight. They're making their way around the Sunoco sign of the pits. Devin O'Connell doing what he can to hold on to that position. He's got 24 laps to go. Fred Moreau led some laps earlier in this race, so he's going to be contending for it. And the guy that I feel is hungry for a victory is Mike Rhino. That guy has put on some excellent driving these past few races, and you could just tell he wants a victory here at New Hampshire Speedway. Matthew Quick is a guy you want to watch as well. That guy, that Angry Cat paint job, always making guys here in the booth that are cracking up on that. And it's a Angry Cat that means business. You see some of the sponsorships there on the back wall. As we take a look at those while we're here on caution, we'll give another shout out to our sponsors: Michelangelo's Painting, Dan's Top Notch Heating and Cooling. Find them on the web at danstopnotch.com. And also find him on Facebook, folks. John Hedrick, the paint shop. Again, mentioned earlier, as I've shout out a sponsorship to him, he's got some few trading paints. You can find him on Trading Paints if you're an iRacing racer. Check him out, but we want you to check him out on Facebook as well. John Hedrick, the paint shop. I want to thank you again here. If you're just joining us, we've had an excellent 52-lap race so far, the 75 lap at New Hampshire Speedway. Appreciate you joining us here on this Tuesday night on the All Pro Broadcast Network. I'm Dustin Caldwell, and on cameras is Michael D'Amico. Beautiful race here tonight, and folks, we want you to tune in every Tuesday night. Always some great racing action, especially on some of these shorter tracks we've seen in the past couple weeks. Starting at Martinsville and moving on to a few others. We had some excellent cautions and some great racing. Lenardi able to capture a victory out of there. And as they head into turn 3, the caution lights are off on the pace car. Devin O'Connell and Fred Moreau in that first group will be bringing us back to green. He's 52 laps of this 75 lap race in the book, and they're going green. Lap 53, Devin O'Connell gets a good shootout over Fred Moreau. Mike Rhino making his way into that low groove coming into that turn. And man, he goes high. Fred Moreau goes high, but he's going to capitalize and make the move over Devin O'Connell, nosing out into the first position. Is he able to do it? We'll see as they come into turn 3. And can he get around him? Yes, he does. You got a new race leader, folks. Once again, Fred Moreau leading the laps, and it looks like we're going to have a caution. I believe I saw Lenardi go into the grass. Don't see a caution as of yet, but Fred Moreau's your race leader, followed by Devin O'Connell. Mike Rhino now making a move coming out of turn 2 for that second position. Putting these guys side by side, and I believe Matthew Quick may have hit the wall there, so he's going to lose a bit of little real estate. Look at this battle going on between the 43 and the 19. Mike Rhino hungry for that victory, but it looks like Devin O'Connell's going to shut him down. Heading there into turn 1. Wow, and there goes Zach Lenard getting a little bit of bump action. Got loose, but he's able to recover. Oh, nope, we will have a caution. We will have a caution on lap 55. Lap 55. Zach spun out coming out of turn 2. And I think he may have bumped Ernest Smith Jr. So that will draw another caution here on lap 55. 20 laps to go. I know heading into turn 2, Zach was a little bit loose, and Wade Tashada barely missing Zach into that straightaway coming out of turn 2. Wow, definitely looked to be a good night so far for Zach, but as we drone on in this race, it's appearing it's possibly going to slip away from his hands this week. And if I'm not mistaken, again, folks, I don't have the documents in front of me, but I believe Zach Lenardi is the All Racing Super Late Model Series leader. Some of the other things you might want to check out from All Racing as we're cautioning. You can check out the Truck Series, the All Pro Racing Truck Series. My good friend DJ Lyons announces that race on Monday nights. And they also have a 50-50 race where there's I believe no iRating involved, so some of the other races out there want to get involved in that. It does have a good payout. Top 10, I believe, gets paid. Is that correct? Checking with my producer here. Kind of was rushed coming to this race tonight. 50-50. Yeah, top 10 payout. And I believe don't they get a trophy for that as well? Yeah. There's a championship trophy gets paid out on that. It's a great thing to check out, folks. You can check out All Pro Racing on Facebook, and if you're an iRacing member, you can also check out the league page. But as we head into lap 58, Fred Moreau is your race leader, followed by Devin O'Connell in the 43 car. Mike Rhino, Matthew Quick, Zach Lenardi rounds out your top 5. Extending into the top 10, we have Mark Arthur, Carson Dijon Tomaso, Ernest Smith Jr., Wade Tashada, and Mark McFadden round out your top 10. And the last guy on the lead lap, Brandon Short. Again, we started with 20 cars tonight, down to 11. 9 have fallen. Fortunately, one of the guys that have fallen was Matt Clifton. I'm sure he's having a few words with his crew chief. Seen that Mopar car spin out a few times, so definitely didn't look like they get dialed in for this 65-degree weather. And cooler temperatures usually bring better grip. 58 laps of the 75 laps have heated up the track a bit, and as we saw Zach Lenardi get loose out of turn 2, which brought us into this caution. But Devin O'Connell able to hang on there. He had a few battles there with Zach Lenardi. Turn 3 and 4, it was a previous caution. But we have we've had 3 lead changes here tonight at New Hampshire Speedway. I believe he said 8 cautions. Checking with the producer here. 9 cautions now. As the safety light now comes off the pace car heading into turn 1, we'll be heading back to green with Fred Moreau and Devin O'Connell in that first group taking us back to green. That'll be a good battle. These two guys have led some laps and they want this victory here at New Hampshire Speedway. Watch them coming down the back stretch. Mike Rhino on the inside, followed by Matthew Quick on the outside. Zach Lenardi able to recapture up to 5th for that last spin out. So plenty of time for him to make his way up. And as they pass the Sprint Cup Series sign on turn 3, Devin O'Connell moving up there on Fred Moreau wants to give him a challenge. It's going to be up to Fred. It's his race to lose. We see the pace car pulling into the pits, and we're about to go green here at New Hampshire Speedway Super Late Model Series Tuesday nights. And there they go. Fred Moreau making the move in the 19 car. Mike Rhino right on him. As they head in turn 1, we have another caution flag come out. Looks like it was an ugly restart. And it looks like Dijon Tommaso, the 26 car, going to be spun out. It looks like he got a little bit of contact there with the 34 car of Ernest Smith Jr. Take a look at the replay, and there was a little bit of Zach Lenardi trying to make a move up on the high side. Is going to get a little bit of bump action too that may have instigated that wreck. Yeah, if you look at the replay, the 34 car, Ernest, man, that boy must call him the pinball wizard of the evening, folks. He was getting bounced around between the 26 and the 51 car. He's the pinball man of the evening. Flailing around between the two cars, trying to take that middle groove, and Lenardi trying to make the move. Sends us into another caution. Lap 61 of the 75 laps. Just crossing the start-finish line, Fred Moreau. We are 62 laps with 13 laps to go. And never, any racer will tell you out there, folks, you definitely don't want to win a race on a caution. It's a lucky thing if you do, but for the most part, you don't want to win on a caution. You want to win this legitimately, and you want to put up the fight. You know, Devin O'Connell wants a shot at it. And a guy like Mike Rhino in 3rd position wants a shot at it. So, no, race control is probably getting on these guys about this as we get into the later part of the race. You see a guy coming around, they're just going to tell you to let him wave him on by, let him go. I know these guys in the lead definitely want to win this thing in a legitimate sense. One more time here, folks, as we are cautioning, give a shout out to our sponsors, Michelangelo's Painting, Dan's Top Notch Heating and Cooling. Find them on the web at danstopnotch.com. Also, tonight, I want you to check out John Hedrick, the paint shop, up on Facebook. You guys got a lot of excellent things going on there. That's John Hedrick, the paint shop, on Facebook. I want to thank you for joining us here tonight on this Tuesday night Super Late Model Series at New Hampshire Speedway. I'm Dustin Caldwell announcing. On cameras, we have the wonderful Michael D'Amico, giving us some good action footage of these replays. Want to give him a shout out there. Want to thank you for joining us here on the All Pro Broadcast Network. Your race leader, Fred Moreau, in that 14 car, doing his sponsor proud. As we see, and we got some good paint jobs here on these cars. We take a look down here at Mike Rhino. Got an excellent paint job on that car. At Revolutions Racing's car. You can see Zach Lenardi in that Rockstar car right behind him. Watch for him to make a move. I mean, folks, he's in the 5th position. We're 63 laps. 12 laps to go. Anything can happen. We've seen Zach Lenardi on the short track catch a break, being back about 10 positions in one caution. He was up there in the top 3. Able to claim the victory a couple weeks ago. But that easy web solution car of Fred Moreau will be taking us green. And making our way down the back stretch now, passing the New Hampshire sign. I tell you, these campers look pretty comfortable. said earlier, these guys getting the royal treatment here. All-pro racing style on those beautiful motorhomes on the back stretch. And as they make their way into turn 4, we'll be seeing the pace car head into the pits. And it looks like Fred Moreau's going to want to get a heck of a lead out there over O'Connell. And whoa. Lights were off the pace car. We might have had a jump. I think we had a jump delayed start. Okay. You have a delayed start there. So one more time around the track, folks. 10 laps to go. So Fred Moreau will be the guy to try to take us to victory here, but O'Connell's going to give him a fight for it. That Dodge, Chevy and Dodge, leading the pack here, heading into the final 10 laps of the race here at New Hampshire Speedway. Need to get me another one of those root beer floats. Oh, man, I think my one of the grips here, he was able to bring that up to me. Man, that's a good choice. So here they are, running it now. We should see the pace car head into the pits as they make their way through into turn 4. Yep, there it goes, diving in. Heading back to green, Fred Moreau and Devin O'Connell. First group, and O'Connell with a move! But Fred Moreau able to make it, and almost going 4 wide. Here they go into turn 1. 3 wide, Lenardi backs off a Rhino. And that 14 car hanging on for dear life as Devin O'Connell's there, but we got a little bit of bump action. Looks like Matthew Quick's going to hit the wall coming out of turn 2. We've been seeing that all night. Something about that turn 2 into the straightaway has left a bunch of cars slippery. As we rewind the cameras here to look at this, it looks like Quick hit the wall and came down into Tashada. And that's going to send them and Carson Dijon Tommaso. And man, Lenardi got involved. The 34 got involved. Lavernus Jr. So, fortunate events here this late in the race. Man, we see that. Looking at that replay, Ernest went up on the wall again. I believe that was him earlier in the race. He went up there out of turn 1. He went up into the wall and almost caught the fence. Wow. Heck of a break for that guy. He's going to be in the pits. Taking a look at Ernest, he's going up onto the wall. I think he was trying to avoid some of it, and yeah, he's going to catch the wall there. Yeah, Matthew Quick's going to be the guy that caused it, and now Lenardi comes into the pits, and we're going to see Quick in the pits. That may be all she wrote for Zach Lenardi. That car's smoking. I don't know if he's going to have... Excuse me, was that Lenardi? I don't know. Somebody I saw in the pits there. I thought it was Lenardi. I'm taking a look down on the field. It was Brandon. Oh, okay, it's Brandon Short. I'm sorry, the Jake's car. And Matthew Quick. So these guys might be done. Wow. Matthew will make it back out now. I see him pulling out of the pits there. So current race standings as they show: Fred Moreau leading, Mike Rhinos in second, Zach Lenardi in third, Mark Arthur in fourth, Carson Dijon Tommaso rounds out your top 5, Mark McFadden and Devin O'Connell moving to 7th. I think he pitted, may have needed some fuel, so he's going to get bumped down into 7th. Brandon Shore is 8th, and now we only have 9 cars. Matthew Quick rounds out. So the field has been at more than half tonight. You usually don't see this many cautions on a larger track. This is a 1-mile track that they're running on. And we got about 5 laps to go in this race. Lenardi in third position. As I said, and as we've seen, if you've been tuning in all night, this guy's been all over the track and shows why he's leading this league in points. Guy could be in the back of the pack, the middle of the pack, the front of the pack, and somehow, when it gets close to the end, he finds himself in the top 5. But Mike Rhino is going to have to do what he can to get past Fred Moreau. So the 14 and the 19 car will be your first group coming back in to start. I believe we'll see the safety lights come off the pace car this time around. Fans are definitely getting their money's worth if they like to see cautions tonight. Look, that was our 10th or 11th caution tonight. Safety lights come off the pace car. Fred Moreau will be taking us back green once we get out of turn 4 on this lap. 5 to go here at New Hampshire Speedway. You're watching the All Pro Broadcast Network Tuesday night Super Late Model Series. I want to thank you for tuning in. If you just joined us, folks, excellent time. 5 laps to go. Missed already a lot of good action, but this is the final 5 you want to watch. See if Fred Moreau can hold it off. People on the hill, you can see the nerves, some of them shaking frantically. Here's where the crew chiefs and pit crew start to grind their teeth and get anxious. It'll all come down to the nerves of Fred Moreau and that 14 car. Easy Web Solutions, see if he can hold on to the victory. That leads here, and four heading into the green. Pace car drops into the pits. And Lenardi's already up on him. He's ready for that restart, and there they go! Mike Rhino shooting out of there a little bit. Mark Arthur behind him. And to turn 1, there they go, 2 by 2. Mike Rhino's going to fall back a little bit. He was pushing for the lead over the start-finish line. Mark Arthur hits that wall, as we've seen what caused the previous caution, so he's going to lose some positions. The 14 car is holding it. Lenardi now challenging that second position on Mike Rhino as they come out of turn 4. And heading back into turn 1, Fred Moreau still leading out by 3 car lengths. Rhino able to pull a little away from Lenardi. Mark Arthur in 4th is about, that's a 15 car lengths, so this will be the one to watch. We got 3 laps to go here at New Hampshire Speedway. Fred Moreau, your race leader of that 14 car, Easy Web Solutions. A racing revolution of Mike Rhino not too far. Looks like he's going to fall off though. Last lap time for Fred coming around that was a 29.378. Lenardi looks like he's going to get a little loose into turn 1, so he's going to fall back now. And it looks like it's Fred's race to lose here, folks. 2 laps to go. As he makes his way around turn 4, that Chevy car is going to come around. And lap 74. Making his way in. This is his race to lose. This is his race to lose. Excellent job here by Fred Moreau to get in that first position. And there we see Mike Rhino taking a little bit of wall punishment coming out of turn 2, as most cars have done tonight. Lenardi is going to fall back. And he will be seeing the white flag come out. 1 more lap to go. Fred Moreau leading him around. He's just half a lap to go. Mike Rhino, not too far behind, but he's there. They're making their way around. Here comes the checkered flag. And Fred Moreau, the car 14, Easy WebX Solutions. Web Solutions, excuse me, will be your leader and victor tonight here at the New Hampshire Speedway. Followed by Mike Rhino of the Racing Revolutions car, the 24 of Zach Lenardi. I'm sure his team is pleased with where they ended up tonight in that Rockstar car. Mark Arthur and Carson Dijon Tomaso will round out your top 5. Matthew Quick, Mark McFadden, Devin O'Connell, Brandon Short, and Ernest Jr. round out your top 10. Some of these guys went down early tonight, but stay tuned, folks. Here on the All Pro Broadcast Network, we'll have some interviews here with our drivers. See if we could pull in Fred Moreau. I'll see if I can grab. Take a look here, folks. See if we can get him. Fred Moreau, are you there? Yeah. Working here with a little bit of audio difficulties here, folks. Apologize, stand by. We'll try to get Fred on the line.
There.
Fred Moreau, are you there?
Yes, how are you? Fred, are you there? Yes. This is Dustin Caldwell up in the booth here. Been calling the race all night. Excellent job for you tonight, sir. Just want to say, heck of a job to finally pull it off in the end. Give us a little bit of feedback on your view of the race tonight and how you came to claim the victory.
Pretty good race. Too much shield for me, but pretty good race. Good battle with some guys.
I know you fought really hard to claim that victory. I just want to say excellent job to you and your crew. Able to get that car dialed in to get you the victory here. As we move now, we're going to move over to Mike. Are you there, Mark?
Yeah, it's Mike.
Mike, I apologize on that. Mike, heck of a job tonight in that 19 car moving through that field. I know you got back a little bit, but you were able to make your way back up. Finishing second, you got to be happy with that. Give us your thoughts on tonight's race.
Yeah, second's pretty good for jumping in late. Pretty much no practice. Started at the back, involved in that wreck in lap 1, I think it was. But made our way back up through. Stayed out of trouble.
Yeah, you definitely made yourself a force to be reckoned with tonight here on the New Hampshire Speedway. It was interesting to watch, guys like Zach Lenardi and Mark Arthur move it through the field, and Devin O'Connell leading it for a while. But good job racing tonight, and we thank you for being here on the New Hampshire Speedway. And as we move now to the third position, your All-Pro Racing League Points leader, Zach Lenardi. Man, I told these folks tonight, you're a guy that can move all across the field. I mean, we've seen you in the back, we've seen you in the middle, we've seen you up towards the front. To finish third here tonight, I know it's not a win, but tell us your thoughts and your feelings on the race here tonight.
Honestly, it was really a disappointing race because I think me, Fred, and O'Connell, we were all probably the fastest cars here, but I got wrecked by so many people tonight I can't even count them anymore. So coming up through the field, I mean, I'm happy with third, but by the end of the race, my car was so destroyed I couldn't compete with them. And then I guess Mark was pretty mad at me after the last restart there. I mean, I apologized to him, but didn't mean to get up into him like that. But I mean, I guess not too mad about third, but definitely not happy with the way I got wrecked so much tonight.
Yeah, definitely we don't see too many cautions. I think we finished out about 12, 13 cautions here on this 1 mile track. A little bit more of a short track play. And just a little bit for the people, the folks here, some other the racers. It looked like turn 2 was the monster to beat tonight. I've seen a lot of cars get loose and hit a little bit of wall action. Did that have any play towards your positioning at all?
Personally, other than the crash, I don't remember who it was with over there, and somewhere in the beginning of the race over in turn 2. That was actually one of my best corners. But 4 was really troubling me because I got real tight coming out of there. Almost hit the wall a couple of times. That was killing me in warm-ups trying to get the car right. But turn 2 wasn't that bad for me.
That's good, and that's probably why you ended up in third after being back so many positions. So that'll do it for our interviews here, folks, at New Hampshire Speedway.
We want to thank you for joining us here on the All-Pro Broadcasting Network. One final shout-out to our sponsors, Michelangelo's Painting, Dan's Top Notch Heating and Cooling. Find them on the web at danstopnotch.com. And also find the gentleman, John Hendrick, on Facebook, The Paint Shop. John Hendrick, The Paint Shop. As mentioned before, he's got some trading paints out there. Check him out on Trading Paints as well, but also want you to check him out on Facebook, John Hendrick, The Paint Shop. I'm Dustin Caldwell, and on camera tonight, Michael D'Amico. We want to thank you for joining us here on this Tuesday night for another edition of Super Late Model Series on the All Pro Broadcast Network. We'll see you next week, folks, and stay tuned.